so on the notes, the first thing we want to look at right here, we find this in the graphing calculator, and they're going to give you this value of R, it's called, and I'm going to show you this in a second when we do it, but the closer the R value is to 0, that's less of a correlation. So the closer it is to -1, that's a strong negative correlation, right? As one variable is going up, the other is going down. And then the closer it is to +1, that's a stronger positive correlation. As one variable goes up, the other goes up. And so there's a way in our graphing calculator that we're going to be able to do this. Okay, so I'm going to try to make sure that I can see this on here. So I'm going to turn the lamp on and see if I can get this up. All right, so to put data in your graphing calculator, all right, the first thing I want everybody to do is clear their calculator. So press second plus 7 for reset, enter, and then go to 2 that says reset, and then our RAM should be cleared. Okay, so now what we want to do is we want to actually enter some data here. So we're going to enter, according to what we've got here, the average tuition and fees at a public four-year colleges. Now, this is a long time ago, right? So this is back in 2000 all the way to 2007. So this is when I went to school, went to college. My first year, I graduated in 2001. So it was a lot less then. It's way more now. But this is just to give us an idea of how to put this in our calculator. So what we're going to do is we're going to press stat. Does everyone see it on your calculator? Press stat. And on there you'll see the words edit, calc, and test. So what we want to start with is editing. So press enter. And then you're going to see list one, L1, L2, L3, and there's actually more. That stands for list. And so what we're going to do is we're going to enter our X values in L1 and our Y values in L2. Now, if you make a mistake and your lists are off, your graph will not appear. So we're going to do this carefully. We're going to use the bottom value here. So we're going to use 2000 for the year 2000 to 2001, right? And 2001 will represent 2001 to 2002 and so on, okay? You can't put an interval of data in a list. So you have to like choose one or the other and know what you're choosing when you do this. Let me make sure we're on here. Okay, so let's start. Is everyone there? Entering this list. So again, to get there, you press stat, enter, and then you should be in there. Is everyone in? Okay, so let's enter. 2000 will be our first enter. So you enter 2000, press, and then you press enter, and it will put it in there. 2001, all the way to 2006 is what we'll do. 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005, 2006. And you have to press enter after the 2006 or it will not go in there. Then we're going to enter the Y value data. So we want to click over to list 2. Okay, so once we click over to list 2, again, we're just going to enter the data given. So the cost in 2000 to 2001, so this is average tuition and fees. I'm assuming that's per semester. But anyway, so 3,508 is our first value. 3,766. 4,098, 4,645, 5,126, 5,492, and then 5,836. Okay, so once they are all entered, you'll notice that your list should be nice and even. Does everyone have that? Okay, is everyone caught up with entering their data? Okay, so now what we're going to do is we have to do something and turn our stat plot on. So right now, the way we have it entered is that we are going to enter y equals equations only, but it's not going to have our stat plot. So does everyone see above the y equals where it says stat plot? So we're going to press second y equals. And you'll notice all your plots are off right now. A plot is used to make a histogram or make a scatter plot. So we only need one of them on. So it's on the one right now. We're going to press enter. And it will give us this screen. So first of all, we have to press enter to get it to say on. And then we have some choices. So the type of plots we have available in this calculator are this first one is a scatter plot. We can make a line plot, like where it connects it. We can make a bar graph. We can make, these are called box and whisker plots. And we can make a step plot. Okay, so we can do all of those things. Today we're going to work on our scatter plot, so press enter on that. And then now it will give you the list. This is saying, so we can do lots of them. We are only using list 1 and list 2 today as our x and y. Make sure it says that on your calculator, because if it doesn't, if it says list 3 and list 4, then it's not going to give you the right data. And then you can choose what kind of marks you want to use. I like to choose the biggest one so you can see it a little bit better. Does everyone have that? Okay. If you're saying no, then I'll have to help you after the video is done. Okay. Now, we got to get out of that. So we're going to press second mode to get out of that. And the other thing that we need to do is we need to adjust our window according to our data. So go ahead, press window. Now, our x values, remember, were the ones on the left. So our lowest x value is really 2,000, isn't it? So when we want our minimum here, I like to, we're going to put in 2,000 for our x minimum. Now, our x maximum, we're going to make predictions, aren't we? So we probably want to predict college tuition for you guys. So what year are you guys going to probably be entering college? Okay, so let's at least go to 2035, let's say. And then our scale, if we're starting at 2000 and going to 2035, what should be a good scale for that? 5s at least, right? So 5s, and then our y values, right? If you take a look at this, our lowest value is 3,508. So we can make it at 3,500 for our minimum. And now we're making an estimate here. So if that continues on, right, the highest here is 5,836. But we're going to go well beyond that. So what do you think our max should be? 20,000. Okay, let's try it. 20,000. And then if we do that, 20,000. What should our scale probably be now? 1,000. I'm going to do 500. But yeah, you could do 1,000. Okay, now go ahead and press graph. All those little dots are what we've got, okay? And they're all really close together. So let's get a better picture here. What could I do to shrink this up and get a better picture? I can always change it later. Can I change the window and shrink it up a little bit? Let's change our maxes in our window. So let's do our maximum to, let's say, 2030. And let's do our y maximum. Let's really shrink that up. It was at 3,500, and we made it go to 20,000. Let's start by making it go to only 10,000. Okay, now press graph. There we go. And so there's a little bit better picture of a scatter plot. Now, what we want to do is not only do we want to be able to put this in our calculator, we want it to draw a line of best fit for us, don't we? So there is a feature in your calculator. If you press stat again, and then this time we want to calculate. So go over where it says calc. And then what we're looking for is actually, it's a line of best fit, but it's also called a linear regression line. So if you notice, your fourth one down says LINREG, which we put on our notes up here, right? And so that's what we're looking for. And you'll notice it says AX plus B, which should remind you of Y equal MX plus B. It's going to give us a line of best fit. So press enter on that and take a look. Make sure it has the correct lists in it. And we want it to calculate it. So we want to go all the way down to calculate and then press enter. And so what it will do is it's not going to give you the whole line, but it's going to give you a calculation according to what you've got. So we want to write that down on our paper. Okay, it's saying that our A value should be 409 point, and I'm going to round this, 43, and our B should be negative, for me, 815,446.71. Now, our B value here, that's usually a y-intercept. That's a starting amount, isn't it? Okay, think about what the starting amount would be here. The year 0, right? Do you think people went to college in the year 0? No, right? Okay, so this is going to seem very outlandish, but with the data that we're using, right, we have to start somewhere. Okay, so let's go. Let's now go to y equals, and we're going to type this in. So it's going to be y equals our AX, remember it's AX plus B, so we're going to put in 409.43 x, and then our B value, so minus 815,446.71. And now we're going to press graph again. And it should make a perfect line of best fit. Beautiful, huh?
That's a lot of steps.
That's a lot of steps. We're going to write them down, okay? But I needed to do it for the video. Video people, you might want to pause the video, go back and write the steps down, okay? Also, they are on here on your notes a little bit, okay? Now, something that I think that we should do in class is not only write down the steps, but I'm going to show you now how to find a value. So I'm going to do that really quick for the video. So we want to figure out what was the year that you guys are you're entering college.
Never.
What year?
2027.
2027, right? So if you're on here, you can calculate that year if you press second trace, because see there's a calculate. See it says calc above that, and then enter. So our X value that we are looking for you guys would be 2027. Okay, let's go ahead. Let's put it in there and press enter. So it is telling us that in the year 2027, if this trend continues according to that, your college tuition will be what?
Too much.
Yeah, too much. $14,467.90. Okay, so that's how you do it. Okay, video people, if you are following with us, our goal is to finish 5-7 practice today. If you have questions, which you might, email me and I will get back to you as soon as I possibly can.